Are we on? Hello and welcome, everybody. This week's edition of the Open Bar. I am your host, as always, Steve Strazza, Chief Market Strategist here at All Star Charts. We do this show every Tuesday after the morning show, 9:45, 10 o'clock, depends on when we finish. And we come on here and we're going to live chart and just talk it out, talk about some things. Throwing up the charts. Here we go. I'm going to clean them. Boom. And we're going to mark them up. Financials. So here it is for me, right? You have some patterns right now. What's up, chat? What's up, Phil? What's up, Vegas Faces? Quentin Garcia. Gonna have a great day at the open bar. Yeah, we always do. Jonathan Fonz. Sweet. Really cool. Yeah, great interview. On the morning show this morning with Craig Johnson. If you missed it, go watch it. We're very fortunate to have guests like him of his caliber. Come on, they talked about everything, JC and Craig today. Where's Strazza? Quentin says. I was getting ready. Got some new tech tools here to mark up some charts. And this is really it for financials, let's try this again. Check this out. Really cool, right? Oh, let's draw it in pink. Nice big top. That line breaks. Look out. This is the situation right now for the entire market. Do you see that VWAP from the April lows? Right? If this is a top in financials, I think the whole market is due for more selling. I'm watching XLF and XLI far more closely than XLK. Now, here's what tech looks like. Clean up all these VWAPs for you. Right? This is tech here. I think from a primary trend perspective, we're still a good bit of a ways, another day or two of selling 6% from VWAP support in something like XLK. QQQ, you got something similar, right? The NASDAQ would have to fall a couple days of selling, 7.5%, just to get to that VWAP support level where we would think, okay, natural level for buyers to come back in, these indexes to establish a tradable low. Don't look at my trade alerts. So I'm more interested in the ones that are right there. And financials, you can't find a better example. Teetering on the brink of completing a massive top and giving sellers back control over a primary trend time frame is why I'm more focused on financials. Do you see what I mean by that? Basically, if this VWAP is violated to the downside here, right? A little move lower in XLF, then sellers are in control right under this line here. So we got to watch this. And I think if you're looking for short opportunities on a market roll, look no further than something like financial. It's kind of lagging right now. Industrial similar, right? Oops. Getting used to this, guys. Okay, so here's XLI. We'll clean it up. Okay. VWAP, April lows, close, right? Kind of right there. One day of selling can break that. We could draw it up in the same way, right? Nice big top here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Clear line of support, right? I could draw that cleaner. But if these levels go, I think you got to be short these groups, and I think they do lead lower. So we're teetering right there. And another way to do this, right? Because we've had 2 good days of action, and you drop a VWAP from the pivot highs in any of this stuff. This is industrials. Let's flip it back to financials, right? So VWAPs from pivot highs. I would put one there. Tried to get it back today, and I would put one there, right? So this is the zone that sellers are going to come in after whatever you want to call the little bounce that we had over the past 2, now 3 sessions. This is a very logical level for sellers to come back out. And I believe that bears are still really controlling the tape. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed at all. We need confirmation with some big momentum to the upside, and we want to take out these VWAP levels right here, right? The VWAPs from the pivot highs, we want to take them out, reclaim them. Okay. Now, at the same time, if we go lower and violate the VWAPs from below, I think you want to short these groups. So these patterns are so tight. Volatility is so compressed and the picture is so muddled at this point, right? About what direction we should expect these patterns to resolve in. During the best of times in bull markets, it's very easy. We see a pattern like this, we say, easy, that's going to fail, right? That top is going to fail and it's going to rip higher, right? And that's going to be a great entry right here. Momentum not even oversold. Love that. Love a lot about this. But the environment right now is one where, like we're saying, bears are in control. Breath is awful. Sentiment's too good. I feel like we still need a big splash lower just to reset this whole thing before we're back off to the races. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if those sellers do come back out. I think they come back out right here. If you look at industrials, right? Same thing, running right into that VWAP from the highs. If you look at small caps, look, I got two dropped right here for you, ready? Running right up into that VWAP. If you're going to short small caps, this is exactly where you want to do it, right? So I think there are some opportunities here from a trading perspective. Whether we take them long or short, I'm waiting for more data, right? More evidence to have conviction with one direction or another. But I do like these three groups, financials, industrials, small caps, for some sort of opportunity, either as a catch up higher or these tops are going. Some of the weakest groups, you got to short. So we'll know more soon. I shorted some IWM first thing this morning, was a little bit early. Let's pull up the 15-minute and look at it. This is how I'll do things, right? So I shorted some right here. Now we reclaim that. So I'm already down. Yesterday, I shorted Russell 2000 and I shorted XLF with puts, closed them both at the end of the day because that's just the kind of market we're in. I'm trying to nab a really hot entry, right? I'm trying to really get in with an optimal entry point in whatever direction this thing's going. So if I get shook around a little bit in the coming days while we wait for that direction to, kind of get figured out and chosen by the market, that's fine. I'm being very tactical and I'm ready to flip it in either direction for these three groups. Let me hit the chat, see if there's anything you guys want to go over. But that's really it. I mean, we're in the middle of a corrective wave. It hasn't ended. We don't have enough evidence that it's over yet. I think you get that evidence on these big VWAP reclaims, right? So if the Russell closes where it's trading right now, north of call it 241, I think that's huge, right? And we could do similar analysis on all the other indexes, right? So the Qs, you're not going to get the all clear until we take out really this high from Thursday of last week, right? Which is right where this VWAP is. So in the Qs, before we have conviction to the upside, we got to get above, call it 612, 613 here, right? And in the same vein, if God forbid we reverse lower, you got a really clear level here, which bears already tried at once, right? This won't take long. This is one day of selling. Get you back down around 586, God forbid 585, 584. This is breaking. And then at that point, we're going lower. So it's really decision time. I think we're at a clear inflection point in a lot of these indexes, sector indexes, industry groups, right? I could even, something like software. Here, even better look at the equal weight. Like you want a big level, look no further. Here's software. Let me get rid of this nasty markup. This is my trading software. This is, where it really goes down. So software, already oversold. Not a characteristic of uptrends. Really clear line of support here, teetering on the brink of breaking. You got the VWAP from the April lows. We're already below it now, testing it from below. Oops, I'll get better at drawing with these things. Really hard. There you go. Right, but we're right there. Now running back up, little automatic reaction the past couple of days, running right into this VWAP software looks as weak as anything. That's another one I think you could get behind on the short side. Or if we dig in and rip, there's plenty of opportunities here. Look at some of these stocks. They've been so beat up. Here's ServiceNow. I was interested in this one a few weeks ago, got into a trade, got blown right out of it, right? But big level here already broke. If you look at something like the April VWAP, well below it, right? You look at CRM, really clean looking top here. You want to short something? First of all, this is aggressive. It's one of the, greatest, one of the world's cloud leaders, already down almost 40% from the highs earlier this year. about to complete a massive top. I mean, it's aggressive, but this one's already been a laggard. It's already an underperformer. Software looks ready to get hit harder. More selling pressure may be underway. This one checks a lot of boxes. Here's Adobe. Speaking of laggards, I mean, yikes, right? There's stuff out here. If you want to get involved on the short side, I just think you need that confirmation at the index level. I mean, look at Adobe. This is terrible. On the other hand, there's stuff I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole on the short side. Something like Broadcom is just screaming at us, I'm going higher. I don't care what the market's doing. So you have some mixed action here. I think on balance, bears definitely winning, continue to put up points, right? The bearish evidence continues to grow, the bullish evidence minimal at best, right? Like I said, 2 good days, not enough for me. I think you're in for maybe a really volatile session today. Watch the VIX too. I think a resurgence in the VIX makes sense. It might lead the selling in the major averages. So that's something I would keep an eye on, that I'm not always watching this closely. But that's really it, guys. Some clean and clear levels. You got the VWAPs from above, the VWAPs from below. Here it is with the equal weight S&P, which has really shown some strength the past 3 sessions now. Nice candle so far today. Look, that looks pretty good to me, right? Taking that VWAP back here. I'll just clean it up quick. This looks pretty good here. Again, like the Russell 2000, if we could just close the way we're looking now, some of these indexes, that's great. Big bullish development, right? Now, a big reversal here sends us back to this little neckline. Then we're talking very different in a day or two. So, can the bulls get it done? Look at this. It's actually ending up being a classic VWAP pinch pattern. So, I think it's important to keep in mind that there's 3 ways that this could go right now, right? So, you got to choose the right way to trade it. The first way this could go based on today's action is we just blast off from here and we go higher. You want to be long, you want to buy calls. It's time to go. New leg higher. I would expect breadth to confirm over the coming days and weeks, right? You'll see a big turn in breadth, a surge higher, almost like a buy everything rally for a couple days or weeks, right? And we're kicking off a new leg into year end. Everything's great. People are happy. The other way this could go is we get slammed lower, right? This was just a little fake out higher and this thing reverses, right? And at the end of the day, we're looking at something that's back towards this neckline or close. And one more day of selling, right, sends us lower. And then we violate this VWAP from the April lows. Okay, bears are in control. You want to be short. You want puts. You want to protect yourself. You've raised cash already. Great. You're happy that you did. You're still waiting. You're going to remain patient to eventually look for, a tradable low and the start of a new leg higher. But there's a third way that this could go, which is very important to understand. This is now a VWAP pinch setup with the VWAP from the April lows and some VWAP from the pivot highs. And you could drop them in a couple different places. You're going to see the same thing, right? You want to drop a VWAP there, drop a VWAP here. Okay, fine. So you get it. It's a pinch situation. So we can do something like this also. Chop, 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 ultimately resolve lower or ultimately resolve higher. Just wears people out. You're not making money long. You're not making money short. You're just getting chopped up. And then the market takes a couple weeks or even a couple months. We've seen corrective waves just this cycle take months and months to play out. Wears everybody out, then finally picks a direction once we're all tired of trying to bet on a direction, right? I think that's probably the highest probability outcome, is that maybe we don't get a resolution at all. That would frustrate the most traders. That would be the most difficult environment for most of us to operate in, especially as me, somebody who needs and wants direction. That would suck, right? So that's what I'm being very careful, kind of waiting for this confirmation. You got to close like this, something, like the RSP today, back above VWAPs from pivot highs. You start leaning long. You start building out long exposure. You trust it. If we don't, if these moves stick, and I'll tell you right now, gun to my head, I don't think this move sticks today. I really don't. I think sellers are coming. It's 10, 12. They haven't even had a chance. They're still waking up. I think sellers are going to come out and pound this thing. And we're probably going to end today red, because that's just the way the tape has been right now. It's probably not over yet. Something like small caps. You're going to come in and sell small caps here. This is exactly the level you're going to do it. So I think today's intraday action, super important in terms of finally picking a direction for these coils. Let's just zoom into a 15-minute. You want to be aggressive. I think you got a big VWAP level right here, 241-ish, right? Zoom into the 1 minute, drop a VWAP just from today's opening candle. That's it, 241.50, right? If you want confirmation, lows a day, 240, 240.25, that's it. But I think small caps could be back around 235, 232 fast today. So I think patience pays. Let's wait for confirmation. The signals will be there when it comes time to fully participate back into this market. We've done the right thing. Just kind of chilling out, right? Going to the beach, going golfing a little bit, doing some account maintenance, right? Planning for the future. What's the rush? What's the rush? Good times will be back. It's one thing I know for certain. Okay. I'm going to catch up with the chat and then we're going to get out of here. I have a 10:15 meeting actually. I actually want to make today. No, a great interview. You need to get in on the conversation next time. I like to let JC go when he's here. There's plenty of times where he's not around for the morning show, and I'll do the interviews myself. But we both have so many questions for a guy like Craig. It's just easier for one of us to run the interviews. I've interviewed Craig plenty of times before. Good pal, really. So much respect for that guy. Okay. Thoughts on JD? Nothing. Buy one of the good ones. We loaded up on Baba and Baidu last week, and I hate the action I'm seeing from Baba right now. Really hate it. Right? That's got to be a green candle today in the Baba. Earnings were great. You really want to see buyers show up after an earnings report like this in one of the most exciting growth stories around the world, right? Yeah, XLF is testing that WAP. XL Fraley asks a good question. When you say the whole market will sell off, do you mean XLE as well? Probably. Look, energy, we're getting close to the point. I'm so long, I'm so overexposed. This is my large portfolio overweight right now. And I'm not going to hang out much longer, right? I thought we were getting a massive breakout here. It never came. Hasn't come for weeks now. Right? I thought we were going when we were up around this level a week and a half ago. Thought we were going, right? And if you look at Exxon, tends to be a great signal for the space. Exxon had this beautiful little base that looked like it was working out of, right? And it failed miserably. Now back into the box. Now you want to start looking at these like this, right? So Exxon probably headed down another couple percent over the short term, and unless it's back in the 120s, I really don't know. So even energy is failing out here. I think energy probably look. I would rather own energy in an environment where other things are working. I'm not making the bet that energy is like inversely correlated and the intermarket picture turning more and more grim for everything else doesn't make me like energy more. I like energy more in an environment where other things are working. It speaks to liquidity, right? So just like the other 10 or 11 sectors, you need some ample liquidity for any of these things to work higher, right, and have sustained uptrend phases. This wick, the last 30 minutes, the most insane thing in what? The wick in what? I don't see any insane wicks today. You think XLF is more important than? Yeah, look, the big banks, RSPF, XLF, whatever. If you want to look at the equal weights for information, that's fine, but this is what people trade. Yeah, rocket's going one way or another. It's either going up big or down big. I think you could just about go out here and buy calls now. I think we took a shot at puts. We took a shot at calls and puts recently. I think it looks like that direction for now is going to be higher. This one's heavily shorted. I think it's a really exciting stock long term. We're above, all these key levels. Look at all this VWAP confluence right in this little range right here. See that? VWAPs everywhere, right? Buyers are in control over every time frame now in something like Rocket. I think if this move sticks, this thing's going back to new all-time highs and then some. Love this one longer term. Yeah, be careful, like shorting JPM out here in this market. They're probably going to ramp this thing higher with all the hate that JPM's getting on the internet from these foolish like Bitcoin people. But yeah, look, I shorted Wells Fargo. Was looking at Citigroup. Again, the banks, I have long exposure. I'm long calls. We're basically straddling a lot of these positions. I know big move is coming, right? In these big banks, whether it's up or down, that's the tough part. So I think the way you want to lean with anything similar to JP Morgan, Billy, is does XLF complete this top? If XLF completes this top, hell yeah. Hammer the JP Morgan puts, right? But if not, and XLF starts looking more like IWM come the end of the day, reclaiming these pivot high VWAPs, you don't want to short them. So I think waiting for confirmation at this point instead of getting chopped up like I've been doing, excuse me, is probably most appropriate way to behave out here. And look, I talk about these trades that I put on in times like this. I talk about getting chopped up, nothing's working. But look, 2 months ago, we significantly reduced our position size. I have the biggest cash balance I've had in 3 years. So nothing I'm doing in this environment can really hurt me that much at all. Right. So that's another really important kind of thing to keep in mind. We react to the environment and we simply just, you know, act appropriately or act accordingly, right? Based on the environment. Right now, we're in an environment where breakouts haven't been sticking, breakdowns have barely been sticking for 2 months now. Tape's been disgusting, internals have been awful. So we adjust and make sure that nothing we're going to do is going to take us out, right? Nothing we're going to do is going to result in any sort of big loss. We're just trying to get a feel. We're dipping our toes in, trying different things, right? But the market really needs to pick a direction, pick it cleanly and clearly, experience some follow through, and then we'll be making money on our directional trades again soon. IWM weekly looks amazing. Amazing how? Amazing in what direction is the question. My duration on puts is always pretty short, Matt. Yep, looking for quick hits. I hate being short, so I want to get in right at the moment they start selling, sell a quick double, take some money back, hopefully ride out some big winners on some quick follow through. What about the cryptos, Phil? Terrible, but probably due for an oversold bounce. They look awful. They look terrible. The cryptos, like they're due for a bounce. They should bounce. They won't. They're not. They're due for a bounce since the beginning of last week. They haven't. Can only be bearish. There's literally nothing bullish to say about Bitcoin right now. And I like saying that on the internet because it's always like really good sentiment information. People are losing their minds when I say bearish things about Bitcoin. I mean, the way that people are treating crypto, it's just right now is scary to me. It's just a space to stay away from for now. It's a space to stay away from. Copper's interesting. I do find copper interesting here. Yeah, Jonathan. Dipping in. Alcoa looks great. We might put a trade on this today. We wanted to yesterday. We didn't. FCX, what a dog. But these look like they're failing tops, right? The Southern Copper, HUD Bay. So yeah, I find copper interesting here as well. I bought ERO yesterday. There you go. I bought this one. ERO. So we're looking at Freeport and AA for a long copper trade. I think AA is really aluminum though. These things mostly move together. This time of the year, the market generally gas in their tanks and take the market. Yeah. Yeah. Look, seasonality is seasonality though, Richard, right? How much do you weigh it, right? So as market analysts, really, you have to become experts in weighing the evidence. And when it comes to something like seasonality, how much do you ever weigh it? 5%, 10%, right? It's ancillary evidence. What I call ancillary evidence. It's nice to know about. It's context, background, right? What's supposed to happen, but a lot of times what's supposed to happen doesn't happen, and you got to go with what's happening, right? We get paid on what's happening today, not what happened this month in this election year last, like, right? It's so you don't overthink the seasonality. Don't overthink any of the ancillary evidence, seasonality, sentiment, positioning, even market breadth. A lot of times, breadth is a little different. Breadth is pretty good. Intermarket could confuse you sometimes, right? Just price. In times like these, price. We got clean and clear levels. Just follow price. Bros, ready to rip. Yeah, the Dutch bros, great. Somebody calling out Viking Cruise Lines. Is that right? VIK. Wow, people taking cruises again. That's great. I haven't been shopping at Dillard's, but we were talking about it this morning. a lot of these retailers just blasting off. Shout out Ross Stores, Kohl's with the big move today. Look at look at these charts. Abercrombie and Fitch, 25%. And the Sydney Sweeney Special, American Eagle, up more than a double off of the pre-Sweeney lows. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on in retail. We're lucky to have Jeff Mackey, who helps us kind of interpret these trends and find the best opportunities in retail. He's just doing great work. Black Friday is like his favorite time of the year. So make sure you check out Jeff's stuff. Crypto, pot, and AI names all down. Risk off. It's been risk off, Stephen. Yeah, it's still risk off. Yeah. I was hoping we would like be on here for a reversal and we can go and like put a trade on. Here's the Russell. I mean, look out. Financials might be XLF puts or IWM puts. Probably the move. Probably the move here. I'm a nice guy, Harminder. I'm, do what I can. Shopify over Baba. That's one way to do it. You're gonna make a lot more money in Baba over the long run, for sure. Shopify's great. I'm super long. It's one of my favorite long-term stocks. We pounded the table on Shopify. My cost basis in this thing is absolutely disgusting. We're pounding the table on Shopify way back when it reversed its primary trend in early 2023. Got in around the 40s here on this trend reversal. So this has been a killer trade, right? And I think you're going to get the breakout above these prior cycle highs soon. So totally. Another one, somebody who just loves online retail stocks, like look at the Mercado Libre, right? Little tactical top forming right against the prior cycle highs. If Melly digs in here at 2000, this might be the best online retail bullish opportunity of anything right now with the way Latin America has been acting, right? Make sure you click the special Black Friday offer to join Breakout Multiplier. We're getting ready to slam these trends and these charts in either direction, frankly, right? Long or short, financials, industrials, small caps, we're going to take them whichever way they go. And I think it's happening in the coming days. So it's a great time to join and take advantage of the special offer that we're running. We don't sell this service for this cheap very often. So get in there and test it out. You get a 30-day risk-free trial to come hang out with me and the rest of the guys and the gals in the Breakout Multiplier community. Long Merck, Bristol, thoughts on healthcare? Yeah, we're long all of those. Pfizer, Gilead, added to the Medtronic last week. Yeah, we like healthcare. The QR code doesn't work. I don't know. I'm not the tech guy. We try so hard. Steve, when I chart looks about to launch and the RSI is showing overbought, yeah, I would rather buy a breakout before RSI is overbought. When I look at RSI, a lot of times it's to tell me how much further can something go without being absolutely ridiculous. Right. So right now I'll look at something like XLF, right? If we rolled over here right now, I would say, wow, we never even got oversold in financials. Like this could go a good deal lower, right? Before we even get into oversold territory. That's how I start to think about RSI. Euro does look good. Yeah, I like it a lot. Lulu, I don't know. I love the close, hate the stock. People are cruising and chopping. Love to hear it. The consumer ain't dead. Who said they were? The economy's not great though. That's the truth. Cypher holding its gain from yesterday. Yeah, Cypher. Yeah, careful with these. Careful with the Cypher right now. Look at this, just teetering at a massive level. This thing could be at 10 tomorrow. Cypher was a great trade for us this year, last year. The stocks have been good. Will they hold up in a market where nothing's working? Is the question. I doubt it. Went to the mall, couldn't find buy. Malls just suck so much though. KMLI, what is that? Never. Oh yeah, wow. There's some crazy stuff out there. Yeah, you could do it that way. All right, this is great. Guys, we're gonna get out of here. I guess I missed my meeting anyway, and it's fine. Really doesn't matter at all. Thank you all for joining me, and thank you for joining me every Tuesday. Really enjoy the open bars. It's a lot of fun. Remember, XLF, XLI, big levels. You got a VWAP above, a VWAP below. Throw them on your charts and just act accordingly. There's no reason to be aggressive. There's no reason to take big swings in this market on either side, long or short. right? I think, again, heightened odds of us just chopping and just messy market, frustrating both buyers and sellers in the year end. Then we eventually pick a direction once everybody's completely worn out. That would be the most obnoxious thing and the least obvious thing, I think, for the market to do right now. So keep that, as a real possible scenario for the coming days, weeks, and even months as we head into year end. So thank you guys all. Happy Tuesday. See you tomorrow on the morning show. Adios.